Okay, baby. The thing that concerned me more than anything that was more traumatizing to me,
I don't know. You know what? I can't do this.
so I'm Josh, and this is my lovely wife.
I'm Renee, and yeah, we're here to play Substance. Looking forward to it. You know, our intimacy, being our minds, and our vulnerability. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Just interested to hear what my husband has to say with these questions. But we're ready. So yeah, let's go.
What has been the biggest obstacle during your journey?
The biggest obstacle, I would say, is as we just having our children and you just having to like navigate through, you know, the stuff that I've been going through with the pregnancy, the children, because I'm always just running around constantly all day, every day. It would be for you to just be more on top of things than me having to be like, Josh, I need you for this. Do this, do this, do this. Be as involved as I am with the children as, you know, just as involved, I would say. Like that.
All right. I would say about the same. That was, you know, a big obstacle in our relationship. You know, once you got pregnant, you know, a lot of things started to change within you. And, you know, I was still being the same way I've always been. So, you know, I didn't understand it. And it was kind of putting you through it from me still being the way I am and not changing with you or even understanding you. Mm-hmm. So that definitely was a big obstacle.
Okay.
You know.
All right. What is something you regret telling someone?
I would regret if I ever give too much information about us to somebody, you know what I'm saying? So that could be anything. You know, there was nothing I said that, you know, ended up hitting me in the face and I was just like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. But the dangers of doing that, you know, it can create obstacles in your relationship, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So
I agree.
that'd be my answer.
Yep, and I'm gonna feed right off of that because that's exactly what I was thinking about. Because knowing me, I tend to say certain things in regards to our relationships to others, and then from off of that, they look at you a certain way, but they don't really know the true you and how you are, whatever, but it's just from what I've given them. So yeah, I would say just sharing information about you, per se, to others, I would kind of, you know, regret, kind of. What's something you're holding on to and why? You're so stupid.
I say, you know, I'm holding on to you. And the reason why I say that is because no matter what we may go through in our relationship, you know, times where we may fight, you know, times where I may say some mean things to you, you know, at the end of the day, I still hold on to you and I make sure by the end of the day, we still gonna make things right, or I'm gonna make things right. You know what I mean? And that's what I'd be holding on to. As far as grudges and things like that, I let all that thing, you know, I let things go. I forgive, I forget, you know, I try not to. I let my mind go blank when it comes to holding on to stuff. You know, is there anything you holding on to?
I would say, I feel like I might be holding on to a wall that I might have up. Maybe from like past stuff or relationships or so forth. Let me see. But
Could you name a specific relationship?
Then you have to look. No, it's not a specific relationship. I'll just say relationships that had me not allowing you to, or not allowing me to, like, receive your the things that you do, you know, for me, how you go about things, and you know how you love me and stuff like that. I know I'm a pushback. Like I'm standoffish. I'm like, no, move. I need my space. So, but yeah.
That's really good, because, you know, this wall, I knew it was there. It's invisible, but it was there, you know what I mean? So it's amazing that you said that. You just came with some substance, you know what I'm saying?
I can't. Okay.
Look, don't look at the camera
No,
after I said
you said so.
No, but that was real.
Okay.
I couldn't get that out of her without that card right there. So, what scares you most about what happens next?
I guess that's the scary part. The not knowing what's going to happen next. But nothing really, you know, scares me. Life itself is what's scary. In our relationship, I don't, you know. Our next is you know, leveling up, and you know, in our relationship, you know, once we walk with God 100%. So nothing scares me, but you know, just making sure, you know, our family is, you know, 100%. You know, anything that's worrying is just our safety and our family and anything else like that. But then I don't know. No.
The unknown could be scary, but I say, as a man, you know, if our marriage was to somehow not work out, you know, I could be in a really crazy situation, you know, to where I don't see my kids, or there's all kinds of possibilities that could happen. Not saying that you would do that to me, but there's so many people that have been married and it didn't work out, and it just went left field for them, you know, and that could be scary for me, you know what I'm saying? So that would be one of the things that scared me the most.
What's the one question you've always wanted an answer to? So the one question I always want to answer to.
When did you first realize that you love me and you want to spend the rest of your life with me? That's right. Mm-hmm. Gonna get some substance on you, girl. Come on.
To be honest, the first time.
The first time?
The first time.
As soon as you met me?
As soon as I met you.
Like, as soon as you looked at me?
Yep,
Damn.
I knew it.
That's what's up.
I did.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow. I like that.
My question is, you know, we wanted an abundance of children.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel some type of way that I cut that short?
I would say the number of kids we have is perfect, you know. However life was going to pan out, that's the way it was going to happen, you know. And if it was a risk to your health and possibly losing you, then, you know, why would I want to chance that?
Right.
So, no, you're good, baby.
Okay.
And I like the fact that, you know, to be real, I don't even know if I could say it on YouTube or anything like that. But, you know, we could do our thing and I don't even have to pull out. You know what I mean?
What?
just throwing it out there. You know, you see, hey, substance. That's a lot of substance right there.
Yeah, I cannot.
You know. What's one childhood trauma that you experienced?
Oh. Childhood trauma. Rest in peace to my dad. But just growing up with my stepfather, thinking that he was my biological father, I think that was a huge trauma. I think I was like 13 at the time, and my brother and sister came to me one day and they were like, oh, because I wanted to change my last name from Parker to his last name and didn't know why. It was Kite, his last name was Kite. And I said, why is it not my name, not Kite, my last name? Why is it Parker? So I wanted to change, and when I decided to make that change, and my brother and sister came to me and said, what are you doing? That's not your father. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I need his last name. And so when they broke the news to me that he wasn't my biological father, it's like, wait, so there's another guy somewhere in my life that I didn't even know about. I'm 13 years old. Where is this person? So yeah, I would say me realizing that my stepfather is not my biological father, if that makes sense. Yeah.
That's some substance right there. So look, check this out. For me, it was when I was told that Santa Claus wasn't real.
Okay,
no, I'm just playing with you. I'm playing with you. Childhood trauma was really, basically, you already know this. I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I went to Arby's with my mom.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a guy approach the vehicle, and he tried to rob me and my mama. And I had to witness this guy, this stranger, pull on my mama's hair and try to rip her out the car, you know. He had the gun to her head, and I was cursing him out. You know, I was trying to draw attention to me because I was willing to die, you know what I mean, to protect my mom. And yeah, long story short, you know, I eventually got the gun from the guy and I killed him with his own gun, but it was self-defense. The thing that concerned me more than anything that was more traumatizing to me was the fact that people were asking me how I felt. They were like, were you nervous, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of scared me a little bit because I wasn't nervous. You know what I'm saying? It felt almost natural to do what I did. So then I started thinking something was wrong with me, you know? But I would say the only reason why I felt natural is because I was protecting my mom, you know? And shout out to my lawyer. No, I'm just playing. I didn't have a lawyer. But yeah, it was very dramatic. It was a really wild experience, you know, to go through that, you know.
Mm-hmm. You had to tear up. You make me tear up. Can I get tissue?
Yeah, it was rough though. I will say, you know, the cops are not looking for me. No. Like, this dude just say,
he just kill somebody?
But yeah, the dude was wanted for murder, you know what I mean? And he actually just killed somebody not too long before and the cops said that basically if me and my mom would have gave him the car and listened to him, from his track record, he just would have shot us and took the car. What's your biggest regret?
Did we just
What's your biggest regret?
marrying him?
Oh, damn. Hey, I wasn't ready for that one.
Not being able to. Yeah, I don't say if that's a regret though. Yeah, well, yeah, not being able to give you more children. I would say that. Yeah. Knowing the struggles and stuff like that. I would say that's why I say it's not too much. I don't feel like it's too much of a regret because we had to do what we had to do. But I would say, yeah.
So it was getting. It wasn't your tubes tied. They basically
Everything
cut
burned
it
up.
out and
It's
burnt
gone,
it up.
delivered.
Threw it away.
Threw it away.
Yeah.
It's
So
done.
if you could have, you would have kept it.
Of course. Of course.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would count it so much as a big regret, but it's definitely one I could think of. And I know you wanted to live at your mom's house. And as a man, I felt like I should have put my foot down and said, look, we're going to live wherever I'm living. You know what I mean? Even though, you know.
Definitely wasn't happening.
Yeah.
You already know what that is.
But at the same time, you know, I feel like as a man, if I could take you into a home that I own or anything of that sort, I could lead better. I could better lead you as a husband, as a father to our children and all that. Which, you know, even right now, at some point, I will buy a nice big house. And I'll say, hey, baby, you coming with me or you staying? You know what I mean? And, you know, because I feel
Well,
like.
that's to be seen.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we should have our own thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have you still living under your mom's roof or anything like that, but you to live under a house that we picked, you know, and if your mom wanted to come live with us, I'm cool with that. You get what I'm saying?
Well, it's in the
Yeah.
works. We talking about it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What's the most hurtful thing someone's ever told you?
When you got angry in the past, you told me to just leave. And it almost felt like if I could be disregarded, just like nothing, like bye, I don't need you, I don't want you, I don't need you. I'm good without you, you know what I mean? And it was just like, damn, I'm just easily, you could just toss me out like that, you know? You just be like, I'm gonna be fine without you, you know? And I would think that our relationship would have more substance, you know, to it, that I can't be disregarded like that. And even though I know you were just saying it, it still hurt. What's the most hurtful thing that I ever said to you?
See, I don't, you know, you say certain things that it's just, you know, body shaming me, you know, things like that. But you know me, I have tough skin. I don't take the things that you say seriously, and I just come back with whatever I throw it back at you. So
Yeah.
But you know, the body shaming stuff is, you know.
So that kind of cuts deep when I do that.
Yeah, when you say certain things, yeah, about my body or whatever the case is, but we already know, you know, why that is, but, you know, and of course, you know, obviously because of the kids and stuff, and me having like 3 C-sections and all of that, so, yeah, you just not being mindful, knowing that can't change. You know, you try to be like, oh, well, work out, you know, I'm not motivated to do the working out and all that extra stuff, but, yeah.
I say, you know, I'm sorry, you know, like, I know you got tough skin, and I know we play around, and we really go in, you know, we kind of have that relationship where we just pick on each other, we tease each other, you know, and because you don't cry or you don't show your feelings, I just feel like it's not hurting you. So I'm not really aware that what I'm saying is really hurting you or cutting deep, you know, and if I would have known that, then I wouldn't.
You good? All right, go ahead. I think we gotta go moving on, right? Yeah.
Last one is
Intimacy. Oh, Lord. All right. What is something that no one knows about you?
I'd say, you know, a lot of people see me and they think I don't get nervous. They probably don't even think I think deep, you know, because I'm always making people laugh, you know, or I could walk in a room full of a lot of people and they see an extrovert, you know what I'm saying? But really, I could be just as scared or nervous as an introvert. But because I don't like that feeling, I break through, I push through. You know what I'm saying? And there's different ways you could do that to push through. As in, I remember I went to a Bible study and there was a bunch of people in a room. And, you know, when you walk in a room and everybody's already there, everybody looks at you like, who's this new person that just walked in? So I decided I didn't want that feeling of being nervous or, you know, that sheltered feeling. So instead, I went ahead and introduced myself to everybody in the room. And it took that weird feeling away. Or sometimes I would walk in a room, there's a lot of people, maybe I'll go use the bathroom right quick, because when you exit a room that you walked into and then re-enter, sometimes it could take that nervous feeling out. And I would think a lot of people don't know that about me.
Okay.
They just assume I'm just this, you know, guy that could just go around the world and talk to everybody.
You do that very well.
I got feelings too. I got feelings too.
Yeah,
you know
never know. You do that very well.
Yeah.
For me, a lot of people don't know that I am an introvert. Like, I've been literally shy all my life. And because they see me out as far as a model, I'm always like, if I'm taking pictures, I'm on the runway, I'm doing my designs, you know, I'm out there. But honestly, with me being out there, I'd rather be in my house, under my heated blanket, watching my TV, and to myself, to be honest, like, just away from, like, reality. People don't know that I like to really be to myself on a regular basis. But, of course, I put myself out there to the extreme that people are like, yeah, right. You shy, introvert? Nah, not you. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Who was someone you had to learn to forgive?
This is intense.
It's okay, baby.
Okay, we like, cause I just went.
You go away.
No,
Tables.
just, no, I'm trying
I
to,
got
like,
some long arms. I could
you definitely
reach
don't.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That just hit me hard like that. Okay, can I get a tissue before I?
Who was someone you had to learn to forgive?
Okay, someone I had to learn to forgive is my stepdad. which, like I said before, my father, because I'm gonna claim that, rest in peace to him, and that's why I guess I'm tearing because of that. I don't know, you know what, I can't do it. I don't think I could do it.
You could do it, baby. I would say somebody I had to learn to forgive, or you could say I had a little more difficulty forgiving, or maybe it lasted a little longer because I always forgive, I always make sure I forgive and forget. But I would say your Aunt Sharon, it seemed like when 2020 happened and COVID and all that, she just did a big switch, and she started coming at me because I didn't want to wear a mask and just, attacking me. And to where when we had our son at the church go up for dedication, she interrupted the whole church session screaming at me because I asked the pastor if I could take my mask off. And it was just a bunch of things of her coming at me, pushing her beliefs onto me. And it took a pretty long time to really get through that. And it was more of so that you could forgive a person, but if they're still in action, it kind of makes it's like a scab that keeps getting pulled off. It's trying to heal, but it keeps getting ripped off. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what I've learned to do is you forgive the person even though they still may be in the act or act a certain type of way, and you do that for yourself because you don't want to hold grudges, and then you allow them to change, but you will let yourself heal by forgiving that person. You get what I'm saying? So that would be my answer to that. What's something you would change about you and me? What's something you would change about you and me?
Us being able to have our own time as far as together. Like we don't really get to have our time. We didn't from when we got married, we didn't have our honeymoon because we were always doing for others instead of us really doing for ourselves. And with our marriage and stuff, we 5 years, and 5 years we didn't even have our time. So I would just change the fact that we need to kind of take less on, not push away from anybody else, but because that's what we do, that's in our nature. But we need to try to find some more space and time for ourselves to really, have our time.
That's right. I like that. That was good. Something I would like to change between you and me. It kind of goes in that category, but it's more like when I'm at work and I get a phone call from you, it's always something to do with the kids. It's something to do with a question, maybe something about your mom or anything. But I actually get a little excited thinking you're gonna call me just to talk to me. And most of the time it's because you have a question about something versus, that intimate, like, hey baby, how's your day? Boom, like you know what I'm saying? Like you take an interest in me versus, hey, where's the last place you put diapers? You know what I'm saying? So it would mean a lot more if we would get back to how we were when we first met versus letting marriage and all the responsibilities and things we have consume us and make our relationship more dry. But if we can get back to how we were when we first met, it would flourish more. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Not saying our marriage is dry.
Yeah,
It might need
like,
a
dang,
little
it's
lotion.
dry.
It might need some lotion.
A little ashy.
You know what I mean? It might be a little ashy. All marriage might be a little ashy. But, you know, a phone call just to be like, hey, baby, you know, I was thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? And if you did that enough, maybe I could be like, yo, you annoy me. But, I mean, when you don't get that, it's like, does she even like me anymore? Like, what's going on? You get what I'm saying? So that would be something I'd like to change between me and you.
Noted.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
What are some things you should be more sensitive towards?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind would be your feelings. You know, I don't know if I'm choosing an easy, you know, thing, but it's like when I say certain things your way, you know what I'm saying? Like how I might say, oh, your belly's poking out, you know, or why's your face look like that? I'm trying to be specific, but what I'm saying is when I say certain comments towards you where I may be picking on you about your appearance, I really don't know that it's affecting you because you do put on this tough, you know, you could take a joke and you'll come back at me. And maybe when you joke back with me, I feel that, you know, I'm not hurting your feelings. So I'm not really aware that, you know, I might be affecting you in your feelings. So I think I need to be more sensitive to your feelings, but on top of that, you need to show me your feelings. And we need to get through that wall that you got. Now that I know there's a wall, yeah.
There ain't no wall. I lied.
I'm coming with a chisel, you heard me? We're gonna chisel that thing out. We're gonna get through that wall. I got hops, I'm gonna jump over that. You know what I mean? So yeah. How about you? Something that you...
Yeah, so, of course, your feelings. Because I know I come like that New York, like you always say, come out. You're like, oh, you a New Yorker. Yes, I am. And it definitely comes out. And I know I can come off really hard. And you're not used to that hardness. So, yeah, more, you know, directed to, you know, how you feel, how I come at you in certain situations, but you...
Give me a specific time.
I ain't got no
Come
specifics
on.
for you.
Do it for the audience. Let them know.
Now you just killed the whole damn
Let
thing.
them
You
know.
just killed it.
Let them
You
know.
just killed it. I don't know.
No,
Like,
no,
wait, no.
no.
No, he's
Tell
not going to edit it.
Tell them a time where you got really New Yorker and you was like, I'm walking over here. Come on.
You got jokes all day.